Hey you guys, it is Mary with Mary Breuer Photos, and today is February 21st, 2018, and what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is how outsourcing is really going to be setting me free this year. I know that we've talked about balance a lot in these last few podcasts that I've done and how that's really been my word for 2018. And, things just keep falling into place where they need to fall in order for me to have this restored balance that I so desperately need. And I think everybody needs it. So go ahead and kick back, relax, make your coffee this morning, or maybe you're on a drive to work, and I would love to entertain you for just a few of your minutes. Okay, so I had a revelation a couple of Tuesdays ago. I was attending a business networking type meeting, but more of it is not so much of networking in a sense of some of the networking that I've done, which is, one chair per industry kind of thing. It's more of a group of business owners that get together, and it can be 500 photographers, it doesn't matter. But we all kind of come together as a community, as business owners in a community, and try to just support and encourage one another and then learn something new even if we can. And what ends up happening is, these friendships are formed, and also we are able to collaborate on ideas as well as, and exchange business for one another to be able to help support each other's businesses. So I was sitting there and we were talking about this collaboration, and we were talking about finding this balance or figuring out a way to delegate tasks or virtual assistants and all this other stuff in regards to her business. And sitting next to me was Kayla, and she's an ontological life coach and business coach. So one of the things that struck me, and I've been following her for a very long time, not a very long time, I mean like within the last year, but she's helped a lot of business owners in this area. And one of the things that she said to me really struck a chord with me of like an aha moment. And that was, she said she outsourced her life versus outsourcing everything in her business to do all the redundant, mundane tasks for her life. And as a mom, I kind of just thought to myself, at first I was like, well, geez, and like, who else is going to do my laundry, cook, and do dishes, and so on and so forth, and what have you. And, there's a stigma that I feel like a little bit, and I'm just going to say it, I'm going to be bold, that Christian women kind of have that stigma around them that because they're the heart of the home, that everything regarding their home is their responsibility. And I agree with that. I agree that my children, I am the heart of my home, and my husband's the leader of my home, and we have our specific roles. And we're always this is getting into weird territory, because once you stand for something, then that automatically makes you against something. But I just want you guys to know that this is just where my heart is. And anyways, so there's this stigma there, and almost kind of like a guilty it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. and I'm just being real here. These are my real feelings right now today. And so part of me felt guilty about, okay, well, I'm not the one cooking, or if I'm not the one cleaning, then somehow I'm failing my family. And I think a lot of those feelings are internal feelings that I felt. Not so much that people told me that, but I have had a few Christian women tell me that before, and, kind of getting me down about running my own business and so on and so forth. But anyway, then I thought to it, and I'm like, but if a woman is smart and she wants to use her time wisely, actually, it would be more wise for her to hire somebody to do the mundane, redundant tasks that take her away from her family and distract her from her family. And I can't tell you the countless number of times that I have been trying to cook a meal, for example. My kids are home from school. They're out doing whatever it is they're doing. Maybe they're upstairs doing homework, or maybe they're sitting at the table or something like that, trying to do their homework. And I'm in the kitchen slaving over a meal, trying to get it on the table because they're hungry now. And I have my little 2-year-old almost 2-year-old, who is like pulling at my leg, mommy, read, but I can't read to her because I'm doing dishes, I'm cooking a meal, making the meal, preparing the meal, and who knows if I've even had time to eat healthy myself for the day. So, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I didn't have to, worry about that stuff and just kind of make sure that everything's like kept up. It's not the bigger chunk of it all. Like my laundry gets done once a week, but I make sure that all gets put in the basket and then it's at its proper place. Or, delegating in my household. Obviously my children are required to do a lot of chores, just because they need to learn, good, strong work ethic. So anyways, I sat there and I thought, I got off on a rabbit trail there. I sat there and I thought to myself, that is a very valid point. We always think, oh, that's what the rich and famous do, right? Like they hire people to take care of all of their stuff so they never have to clean and they never have to cook. And when you do that, though, think about how much time then they get to spend on themselves and the people around them. And it's like, ta-da, like it just like the big light bulb went off. And the thing is I looked into it and it's really actually not that much more. It's really actually affordable to do this. And if you make the time for it and you make the money for it, because now here's the thing, like now I don't have to worry about all of those mundane tasks to do every day, and it frees up a lot more time for me to be present with my kids, not multitasking and cooking dinner and trying to help them with their homework, because I want to give them my full attention. I don't want to give them half part of my attention. So she told me about, and I wanted to start with myself. And I know that, again, that's one of those things that's taboo for moms, right? We have to start with ourselves, and we're not supposed to think about ourselves first. But here's the thing, and I know that this is, you probably already know this if you're listening to this, but if I'm not healthy and if I'm not, equipped to go into battle here, which is life, then how the heck am I supposed to fight for my family and, prepare and take care of my family if I am so exhausted and moody and mean, and it's all because I don't have a healthy diet and I'm constantly doing food on the go or eating stuff that is okay for my kids to eat because they burn off all the energy, but I don't burn off that much energy, so those are the things that I was thinking about. So she told me about this girl named Shadow, and Shadow runs this business called Get Fit Green Bay. And I'm like so on cloud 9 right now, which is probably why I'm making this podcast and giving her another shout out. She's like lit on my Instagram stories. And I also did a live video on my personal Facebook too about what she just did for me. So I reached out to Shadow because Kayla told me that she does juicing and makes salads and does meal prep for her. So I said, okay, I'm going to check this out. Thinking in the back of my head, oh my God, this is going to be like so expensive. But I'm just going to hear her out, see if I can make a way to make it happen and just, figure it out. So I called her and we were on the phone, oh my gosh, for like an hour, probably because me, I'm a chatty Cathy, and I like to, I love other women business owners, so I'm always intrigued with their story and everything. So I had her tell me everything. And it was obviously more affordable to do something more long-term than it was to do something short-term. So I signed up for the 6-month subscription, if you will. And so here's what she's doing for me. She makes everything. I can't give you a price because everybody's different and as far as what their needs are. But it kind of works itself out for me to be about $8. It would be like $8 a day. Okay. And that's for her services. That doesn't include her, she doesn't include groceries in that. That's something that you have to purchase. She'll do the grocery shopping for you, but you have to purchase that on your own time, or on your own money, on your own dime, not your own time, your own dime. There we go. So anyways, what I ended up signing up for was weekly juices. So I get a juice, fresh juice every single day, and a different one, a variety. And I also get she's doing salad prep for me. So I got 6 salads. Probably could have, they're so big, and honestly could have been probably like 12 of them because they're so huge that she made. And what she does is she also went to the grocery store, and I sent her my grocery list for my house. Like, I meal prepped, like, what am I going to do for dinner every night for the kids? And that's what I do. I make dinner, and then I make extra for lunches, and then buy just, lunch stuff for my kids. And just, we get our meat separately. So anyways, I figured it wouldn't be too bad if I sent her my grocery list. House of 5. Go do it. So anyways, it was really nice. So she went to the store yesterday. She came to my house. Her and her sister were in my kitchen. The juices she had already made and brought to me. So then she just chopped and prepped like 6 salads right there. And it was amazing because I got to talk to her more. And I put away the groceries as we chatted. And I just got to thinking, like, oh my gosh, this is so worth it. Because now, let's break down a grocery store trip for just a second, okay? First of all, most of the time I make a list. I meal prep, what meals do I want, what ingredients do I need, and then I go from there, right? So then I take that list and I go to the store. Should be really easy, correct? No, it is not, because most of the time, if I'm not I have to take one of them, at least Rosie, to the store with me, and if I don't take her, I'm taking all 3 of them. So I'm hustling and bustling through the store, trying to, look for the best options for my family, and Rosie is throwing a temper tantrum. So then she throws a temper tantrum, so I have to buy her like a sucker or something, so I'm spending extra money. And if my other kids are with me, oh my gosh, can I get this? Can I get that? Can I get this? Can I get that? You know the routine. So you're finally like just trying to get the hell out of there. So you're like throwing stuff in your cart and like just praying that they'll shut up for just 5 seconds so you can think straight. So you end up buying a lot more. Not to mention, I have to then walk by all of these like chocolates and cakes and junk food. And I myself suffer with overeating. So that doesn't help me at all. So I end up getting tempted and exposed to those things as well. And so I'm throwing that stuff in the cart thinking, oh, I'll just get it this one time. I'm stressed out, right? I'm going to eat it because I'm freaking out. So anyways, the shopping trip that I had so delicately planned out turns into a nightmare. That's what it turns into. So she went to the grocery store for me. I was able to meal prep. And then I said, this is everything that I need for my meals. And I didn't have to take my kids. And I didn't have to get tempted. And she just brought it all back. And she spent under $100. She spent under $90. She spent $85. And I thought to myself, that's probably what I would have been spending this entire time if I wouldn't have been doing the grocery shopping myself. Or, even with the kids. So I thought, that in itself, like usually when I go to the grocery store, I always spend like $150. Like it's guaranteed $150. So I thought, okay, she just saved me like $70. $70. And if I do that like times 4, that's $280. And I pay her less than that per month. So you do the math, you tell me. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's my take on this, and this is a personal thing. I'm just going off on a rabbit hole here, I'm sorry. I've spent money on supplements, like not bodybuilder, beach body, there we go, body, kind of like bodybuilder, where you have supplemental stuff, and I've spent over sometimes $200 or more a month on these supplements that are supposed to help you lose weight and replace your meals and all this other stuff. And what I just keep coming back to over and over again is you just need to eat whole, healthy foods. That's the only way you're going to be able to fully get your body completely nourished